Acting as a spin-off to the mainline series, the Pokemon Legends brand name has become one of the better adventures from Game Freak in recent years. The last Legends game saw us gallivanting around the Hisui region, which acted as a prequel to the Pokemon series in general and told the historical backstory of the Sinnoh region. Pokemon Legends ZA is taking an even bigger risk now, cementing itself in the modern era timeline and taking place in Lumiose City. We know this location from Pokemon X and Y story. As a result of the setting, we also see the iconic Mega Evolution gimmick return, which has been absent in the series since Pokemon X and Y. If anything, I was pretty excited to jump into this adventure because if you ask me, I think the X and Y games have kind of been pushed aside by Game Freak and they've kind of all but abandoned its legendary duo Yveltal and Xerneas. Pokemon Legends ZA kicks off as the protagonist arrives in Lumiose City only to be immediately harassed by one of the members of Team MZ, a group of Pokemon trainers who are staying at Hotel Z and for some reason are looking to recruit people to join the ZA Royale, a tournament taking place in the city where trainers battle each other to gain ranks to hopefully go from rank Z to A. I know there's a lot of letters in those last few sentences, but Pokemon Legends ZA is all about these letters. While the ZA tagline didn't make much sense until I played the game, it all came together when I realized that I would be essentially trying to become the best trainer in the city by beating other trainers and slowly gaining ranks from Z to A. This isn't just a big plot point in Legends ZA, in fact the ranking system acts as the foundation to the game's gameplay loop too. After being incredibly restricted to where I could explore and what I could do in the game, once Lumiose City opened up to me and Team MZ left me the hell alone, I found myself exploring during the day, which meant I was running around in the streets completing quests, leaping from rooftop to collect items, or adventuring in the city's wild zones to battle and catch Pokemon. At night, the battle zones then open up once the sun sets. These battle zones change locations every night and sees a portion of the city boarded off and filled up with other trainers who are seemingly trying to also rank up and become the legendary A rank person thing. Here I would battle it out against other Pokemon teams and fight to earn tickets. These challenger tickets would then all be counted towards my next promotion match. This is a special match between the current holder of the current rank I was trying to get to, who I would have to beat in order to rank up myself. While the story does throw some curveballs into the mix, Legends ZA is essentially about why the city is hosting these tournaments and all the little events that take place in between these promotion matches. These events are the game's major plot points, so I won't share them here. Just know that much of the game is also about fighting off these rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon that pop up around the city too. Altogether, I think Pokemon Legends ZA from a pacing point of view is likely the best I've played in a long time. I felt like there was always something to do. If I wasn't sneaking around the battle zones to leap at trainers like an assassin, even though I was standing next to a massive Pokemon while doing so, I was exploring these wild zones, catching Pokemon, leveling up and often completing research assignments to try and rank up the system to unlock cool TMs and items. I never felt like there was a dull moment in Legends ZA. Unlike Scarlet and Violet, which was set in a rather dull open world with lots of empty space and nothing to do, ZA feels like it's the perfect size and the game's general flow was satisfying. Even spending a good hour or so running across rooftops to collect pickup items and currency was enjoyable, and I often looked around to map my next route to the next sparkly Pokeball. I was often at my champion ticket max cap, but given that the time naturally flows in the game, I still jumped into the battle zones every night to fight trainers just to earn points for Xeni exchange and XP to level up my team. The cap didn't reset until I beat the next promotion match, so often the story kind of blocks that opponent out until I had completed some major plot point in the game, which then revealed my opponent so that I could earn more challenger tickets after beating that opponent. I felt like I always had something to do, be it for the game's overall progression or that I was simply trying to level up a newly caught Pokemon to evolve it and gain its Mega Evolution. My team seldom stayed the same for longer than a few hours, only because I was forever switching it out with new finds to complete my Pokédex. This is the whole point of a Pokemon game, and ZA does a great job pushing the gotta catch 'em all agenda, probably more so than other games. The story is also okay. There are some quirky moments I really enjoyed, and there's a fair amount of annoying characters and dialogue, but it does go to places I didn't expect. Similar to Legends Arceus, ZA tries hard to make this a real fan-driven story, and I can't complain much about that. The same can't be said about the game's side missions, however. These are an absolute pain to complete at times. Not because they are challenging by any means, but because they are so elementary that I can't fathom why Game Freak would even think that they were okay to put in the game. I'm talking about the most basic grade 0 preschool written side quests in Pokemon history. Even after I finished the game, I was still encountering missions that revolved around a trainer wanting to fight to show me how protect attacks work. No joke, there's legit fights with trainers who are side missions to essentially give you a tutorial on a Pokemon move that has been around for decades. It makes it worse that these trainers are often knocked out within a few seconds, and the whole point of the side mission is just pointless because if you're playing Pokemon, you know how protect works, and if you're at the end of the game, chances are his little protect attack is not going to protect his Pokemon from your overpowered Pokemon because you finished the game. I just think the quality is so insulting to Pokemon fans. Where's the lore? Where's the quirkiness? Where's the comedy? Most importantly, where is the damn challenge? These side missions are atrociously written and brainless. Sure, there's an odd gem here and there like missions to unlock new cosmetic options, which are pretty awesome. All the cosmetics in Pokemon Legends ZA are the best we've seen in the series to date, but the majority of the quests for the game are just not fun at all. But outside of the story and the horrid side quests, Legends ZA does flow quite nicely, and I think there's a lot to do with the game's combat and general movement and exploration. Combat is still in real time, but instead of PP, Pokemon now can attack on cooldowns. There's also a range and distance for these attacks. It all results in a fun experience that oozes into the wild zones and battle zones. In wild zones, I would creep through the grass and toss Pokeballs to catch unsuspecting Pokemon. Alpha Pokemon are then tougher and often need to be beaten before they can be caught, but standing next to or walking beside my Pokemon and throwing instructions its way made it feel a lot more immersive. The cooldown system also adds a bit of realism to the combat. Instead of worrying about running out of attacks, I could now chain together moves while my 6th cast of Thunder was cooling down. It was fun and it works, even if there were some odd issues like Pokemon falling off the rooftops when I was attacking them, or getting annoyed that I could not open my menu to pause the game because I just revived my Pokemon and the bag was on a cooldown. The combat then helps in the battle zones and the general main fights too. Some of these then throw in Mega Evolutions and they are made even better. Using 3 or 4 of my team to take down a single challenger's last Pokemon is exactly what I remember doing and enjoying in the past games, and even with the new combat, it happens in Legends ZA too. Rogue Mega Evolution fights, which act as ZA's raids, are really the best of the best though. These fights saw me go up against these crazed Mega Evolution Pokemon in unique arenas. These Pokemon target not only my Pokemon but my character too, so I constantly had to be on the lookout for incoming attacks, issue my attack commands on the go, dodge incoming fire, and some fights even included some mechanics that I had to master along the way. These fights last for well over 5 minutes and are just so much fun to participate in. They are really the highlight of the game in my opinion, even if I still think Gigantamax is the greatest unrivaled Pokemon gimmick in the series. But what can I say about Pokemon Legends ZA that hasn't already been said? It is a Pokemon game, so it comes with the expected normal wonky stuff. For example, bad animations, characters still run on rails and turn around while walking. There's still no voiceover even though the game has some fantastic cinematics that will only benefit from voice work. And all the same cheesiness is in the game too. The Switch 2 version of ZA runs really well. The 60fps 4K docked mode is smooth and the game generally looks pretty clean. There are also very few visual hiccups here. Textures are sharp and clean, trees don't look like twigs in the distance, and the character and Pokemon models are pretty refined. It is a good looking Pokemon game. Coming from Scarlet and Violet, it is a night and day difference. Even with some poor writing and those bad side missions, Pokemon Legends ZA is a fun catch-em-all adventure with a refreshing combat system and a satisfying gameplay loop. There are new Mega Evolutions to discover here and the whole new Pokédex to complete. It is all centered around a familiar yet oddly different setting that pays tribute to one of Game Freak's most underrated regions. So those are my thoughts on Pokemon Legends ZA. Are you looking to pick this game up? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. As usual, please do consider liking and subscribing for future content, and until next time, farewell.